A bridge over Lake Harrington will not be reopening today as originally planned. Details on the delay ahead.
Good-looking start to the weekend, but cold fronts take center stage. I'm tracking freeze threats just ahead.
Has passed away after a long battle with cancer. We'll look at how Health Commissioner Dr. Rice Leach is being remembered.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good afternoon to you. Kentucky's Attorney General says Republican Governor Matt Bevin's mid-year budget cuts to colleges and universities are illegal.
Within the last hour, Democrat Andy Beshear, the AG, said that the cuts go beyond the governor's authority. Governor Bevin had ordered cuts of 4.5% for all public colleges and universities yesterday. His move came as House and Senate leaders failed to reach an agreement on a 2-year budget spending plan. Now, the House and Senate did not include the 4.5% cuts in their respective versions of the budget. The Attorney General is asking for Governor Bevin to nix the cuts. The governor said the cuts are necessary because the state's public pension system is on the brink of insolvency. This is an evolving story that we'll continue to cover throughout this newscast and probably into next week as well.
Absolutely.
All right, another delay in a major bridge project impacting people near a popular lake spanning 2 counties.
The Kennedy Mill Bridge has been closed for months after state officials suddenly shut it down last summer. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more from Mercer County on how the extended closure is impacting people. It's our top story at 4:30.
The bridge, which is more than 90 years old, was closed on Labor Day weekend. Work began on repairing the bridge in February. It was supposed to reopen today, but that opening date has been delayed by at least another week. The bridge was closed just before the busy Labor Day weekend because of what state officials call deterioration of steel supports. A news release from the Transportation Cabinet said that work would only take about 3 months. But the actual work did not start until February 22nd. It was supposed to be finished Friday, but the state says it'll be at least next Friday before the work is done. Some residents say the detour adds nearly 30 minutes every time they want to drive to Lexington.
Because so many of us over here like to go to Nicholasville and Lexington for shopping and our social lives and going out to dinner and theater and things of that nature, and it's made it hard for us because the bridge has been closed.
There will be a brand new bridge built. It's unclear on exactly when that construction is expected to start. We were told that it was supposed to start sometime this year, but it could take several years to complete. However, the old bridge will stay open while the new one is built. In Mercer County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
State officials say a study done in 2012 said that more than 1,400 vehicles cross that bridge every day. The search continues for an inmate who escaped from a Lexington prison. Staff at Blackburn Correctional Complex say 32-year-old Jason Arnold was reported missing last night. He was serving a 10-year sentence for theft, forgery, and evidence tampering convictions out of Madison County. Arnold would have been eligible for parole in August. Well, pleasant Friday afternoon in the Bluegrass, but a chilly weekend is looming.
It has been a beautiful day. Temperatures, though, as Amber said, expected to drop, and we could see a freeze. I've already talked to our chief meteorologist about plants and what to cover, because that's coming, right?
Yeah, tomorrow night into Sunday morning, chances are readings drop deep into the 20s into much of central and eastern Kentucky, so green thumbs. We've put you on alert for the past 2 weeks for the first week of April, forecasting temperatures that would likely drop deep into the 20s, and here we are, and we've got a lot of 20s showing up in the forecast. Little look outside right now across the region. It's nice. Low and mid 60s. Winds are gusty, but a fair amount of sunshine. But look at that Jackson Cam. A little more overcast conditions into the southeastern corner of the state. That's an area that has been brushed by a little light rain early in the day, but overall, Defender says we're calm, we're quiet into most of the area. More sun to the west and north, but it is to our northwest. We get the first of a couple of fronts to zip in to the region over the next 24 hours. That's going to really knock those temperatures down, and by the time we roll into tomorrow night, the possibility is there for a hard freeze into much of central and eastern Kentucky. It's a very active weather pattern. Green thumb alert is out for the next week. Guys, I've got multiple mornings that may see temperatures deep into the 20s. And I will show you those mornings for the next week and show you what a wild ride of temperatures we're on with an expanded hour-by-hour forecast for the next week. Wait until you see those big dips coming up in just a few.
A longtime Lexington health official has lost his battle with cancer. The Fayette County Health Department says that Dr. Rice Leach passed away this morning. Dr. Leach has served as Lexington's Commissioner of Health since 2011, but his career in health goes back about a half a century. Just 2 weeks ago, the city presented him with the Lexington Public Health Hero Award. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray called Leach a great man in every way, compassionate, committed, determined. Dr. Rice Leach was 75. We will have more on Dr. Leach ahead on WKYT News coming up at 5:30. Lawmakers in several states grappling with the backlash over religious liberty laws that opponents say discriminate against the LGBT community.
Advocacy groups are voicing their opposition to the measures, and large corporations are throwing their weight against the proposals as well. Reed Binion reports.
Bob Onder, you know my name. You know that my child is dead due to this sort of shaming that your bill will create.
A mother who says her son fatally overdosed after bullying over his sexuality is speaking out against a controversial proposed amendment to Missouri's Constitution. The sponsor of the bill, which would shield from punishment those who on religious grounds refuse goods or services to same-sex marriages, says it has broad support.
The Missouri Catholic Conference, the Baptists, the Assemblies of God have all endorsed my amendment, the Missouri Farm Bureaus.
Georgia's governor vetoed a similar bill recently, saying that pressure from major businesses like Delta had no bearing on his decision. The same pressure is now mounting in North Carolina, where the state enacted a law barring cities from creating non-discrimination policies based on sexuality or gender identity.
This state has the most hateful law in America against LGBT people.
More than 100 corporations have signed a letter asking North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory to repeal the law, including Starbucks, Citibank, and Hilton, just to name a few.
It's incumbent upon you, Governor McCrory, to fix your mess.
The governor, backed by those who support his position, is standing his ground.
The state is representing pragmatic middle America, which has been using common sense restroom and locker room and bathroom rules for decades.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
U.S. Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky pulled an April Fool's prank today. It is April Fool's Day after all. Through his official Twitter account, the senator also claimed to be making a, quote, major endorsement announcement that would be huge, a term Republican frontrunner Donald Trump often uses. He later tweeted that he was just celebrating April Fools with the hashtag endorse entropy. Senator Paul dropped out of the presidential race earlier this year and has yet to endorse any of the remaining candidates.
I heard the hum of the lawnmower outside the station here today, and I'm sure a lot of folks may be doing that this afternoon.
I fired mine up today. April 1st, you know, Chris, it had to be cut. You have to do these things.
I just fired my mower, which just wasn't doing a very good job. But we are talking about some warmer weather in the short term. But overall, guys, the trend is towards some ugly stuff that is coming up over the next several days. It's going to slow down that growing season right now, and in some cases, may end it way earlier than normal with a lot of hard freezes coming up. Those tender plants of vegetation that are ahead of the game right now, take care of them over the next several days. Right now, it's all about mid-60s showing up into central Kentucky. 64, Lexington, Mount Sterling, Moorhead, Richmond, Danville, Somerset, Frankfort. Popular number 66 into the southeastern corner of the state. If you're out this evening, it's a windy one, turning colder. Fair skies by 11 o'clock. Those readings are dropping into the upper 40s. That's ahead of some colder air that blows into town as we go throughout the rest of the weekend. We'll break that down a little later on. Right now, it's a busy afternoon on the roads. Here's Officer Don to tell you what's going on. Don.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic. It looks like we're working about 4 collisions right now, including the one on the interstate. It's I-75 northbound around the 115. Traffic is still backed up a couple of miles trying to get past that injury collision. There's also a crash at Tates Creek and New Circle. That's an injury as well. One at Manowar and Liberty, and they're still clearing one at Richmond and Lincoln, which turns out to be a non-injury collision. Drive times this afternoon out to Nicholasville, 12 to 15 minutes is what we've been running. I-75 across the Clays Ferry Bridge looks okay. Now back to the studio.
Sir Don, thank you. A teen helps out police in a serious proposal problem. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
A teenager is now being called a hero after he helped police stop a suspected shoplifter in Washington. Police say a man was attempting to steal about $800 worth of merchandise from a Target store at a mall just outside of Seattle. When approached by security, the man took off. Moments later, that's when police say he was met by 14-year-old Kevin Merce. With his football mindset, Kevin sized up the suspected shoplifter and tackled him. And while citizens are not encouraged to step in like this, police say they are thankful for what Kevin did. When asked about his heroic act, Kevin told reporters he just hopes to have that same intensity in his next football game. Good job, young man.
It is one of life's most special moments, proposing marriage. But for one Alabama man, his perfectly crafted proposal to his girlfriend was almost sunk. Greg used all of his life savings to get a ring to propose to his girlfriend. He met her at the pier in Fairhope, Alabama, and with his best man filming, whoops, he got down on one knee and he's opened the ring box. Things went terribly wrong. One perfect bounce sent the ring flying into the bay.
First thing was, did that just happen?
Yeah, disbelief at first.
and we're thinking that we just saw some splash, that this was not real.
Well, Greg jumped in after the ring, but quickly realized the current was just too strong. His best man actually had to save him then. The groom-to-be did not have insurance on the ring that fell into the bay, but the jewelry store did offer Greg a deep discount on a new ring. I hope the second proposal was not anywhere near any water.
Yes, and she did say yes, of course.
I hope. It looks like it.
That's
so.
the main part of the story as far as that goes. All right.
On that note, it is a busy Friday afternoon. Please stick with us because here's what we're working on for you now at 5 o'clock.